os sphenoidale. This is most complicated bone which placed in central part of basis cerebri, basis cranii. Here it is, it's of yellow color. We can find it from all sides of the cranium. Now from inner side, and now from the outer side, and from lateral side, and from anterior view inside of the orbit. It's really quite complicated, and that's why we begin to study it from main parts. The central part called corpus ossis sphenoidale. Corpus ossis sphenoidale. What can we find on this structure? First of all, we can find here deep groove which named as sella turcica. All the structure is sella turcica. It means Turkish saddle for riding on the horse. Sella turcica. Sella turcica. Sella turcica. Sella turcica contains this deep groove, which is a place for hypophysis. Hypophysis. Fossa hypophysiale. Hypophysis is the main internal organ of secretion. So, fossa, hypophysialis. Fossa hypophysialis. And dorsum cella. Dorsum cella. Where is dorsum cella? Here it is. Here it is, dorsum cella. Here it is. It's fossa hypophysialis, and this is dorsum cella. Fossa hypophysialis, and this is dorsum cella. Dorsum cella and fossa hypophysialis. Fossa hypophysialis. Then, very important thing which named sulcus chiasmatis. Sulcus chiasmatis. Sulcus chiasmatis. Sulcus chiasmatis. And if it is sulcus chiasmatis, so posteriorly to it we can find tuberculum anterior. Tuberculum anterior. Sulcus chiasmatis and tuberculum anterior. And from lateral sides of cella turcica, we can find this sulci, sulcus caroticus, sulcus caroticus. Sulcus caroticus. And that was posterior part of corpus ossis sphenoidale. And now, if we turn to the anterior surface, we can find this medially placed structure, which named rostrum ossis sphenoidalis. Rostrum ossis sphenoidalis. Posterior surface. Here, anterior surface. Rostrum. Ossis sphenoidalis. It will be abbreviation. Rostrum ossis sphenoidalis. Here it is. May I ask you, can we find it from anterior view of the whole skull? Not. Because to rostrum sphenoidalis, this structure connects. What is it? It's vomer. So vomer is a structure which connects to the rostrum ossis sphenoidalis. Rostrum ossis sphenoidalis and vomer connects to each other to form the medial wall of the nasal cavity. Then we can find here foraminae, which leads to internal cavity of the inside of the corpus ossis sphenoidalis. They called aperture, plural, sinus, sphenoidalis. Aperture, sinus, sphenoidalis. So, inside of it, we can find a special cavity, again, which contains the air, sinus sphenoidalis. So, this is sinus sphenoidalis, so named paranasal sinus, paranasal, because it's close to the nasal cavity, but out of it. Sinus sphenoidalis. So now practically we finished with the first part of os sphenoidale, corpus ossis sphenoidale. And now let's try to describe second part of os sphenoidale, which named second part, which named ale, ala in singular, in plural ale maiores, ale maiores, large wings, large wings. Os sphenoidale looks like butterfly. Here, two wings, large wings, ale maioris, ale maioris. Ale maioris have four surfaces. We should know them. This is cerebral surface, because brain or cerebrum contact with it. So cerebral surface. Cerebral surface or facies cerebralis. Cerebralis. Facies cerebralis. We can find it easily inside of the internal skull, laterally to the sella turcica. Here it is, facies cerebralis. Then we can find this surface of ale maioris. What is it? It's facies temporalis, because it's temporal bone. Facies temporalis. Facies temporalis. Facies temporalis. So it's facies temporalis. In single bone, we can demonstrate it here. Here it is, facies temporalis. It's facies temporalis. Facies cerebralis and facies temporalis. And then this surface is facies orbitalis, because it's part and orbiter. Facies orbitalis. Facies orbitalis. Again, facies temporalis, and now facies orbitalis. It's lateral wall of orbiter. Lateral wall of orbiter. And very small and quite difficult to demonstration part, this one. Triangular shape, very small in size, facies maxillaris, because it's close to maxilla, facies maxillaris, facies maxillaris, facies maxillaris. Maxillaris, facies maxillaris. So we can find 4 surfaces of ale majoris, facies cerebralis, facies temporalis, facies orbitalis, and facies maxillaris. Now, what important structure we should find and demonstrate here? 2 foramina. First of all, foramen ovale, foramen ovale. And laterally to it, foramen spinosum, foramen spinosum. And from another side, foramen spinosum, foramen ovale and foramen spinosum. Foramen ovale and foramen spinosum. And this way. Foramen rotundum, foramen rotundum. Foramen rotundum means in translation round foramen, round foramen. And close to these foramen we can find a special canal which leads from internal surface of the skull into the orbit. It's canalis opticus, canalis opticus. Really, canalis opticus does not belong to ale majoris, but canalis opticus, canalis opticus. It isn't part of ale majoris, but it's easy to demonstrate it when you already found the foramen rotundum. So, canalis opticus. And also, not belongs to ale majoris, but we can find it here. Fissura orbitalis superior. It places between ala major and ala minor, fissura orbitalis superior. Fissura orbitalis superior. I repeat that all these structures, fissura orbitalis superior and canalis opticus, they do not belong to ala majoris, but they are located close to them. So it's enough to the ala majoris. And now we can describe third part of sphenoidale, which called ala minor, or in plural, ale minores. Ale minores. Third part, ale minores. Here, ale minores, they are part of superior wall of the orbit. This is superior wall of the orbit. If we make here a foramen, we shall enter the orbit. So ala minor, here it is. Ala minor. I can write down that it's part of superior wall of the orbit. Most posteriorly located, here it is, superior wall of the orbit. This is ala minor. And now the last fourth part of sphenoidale. Number 4, processus pterygoidus. Processus pterygoidus. To find it, we need turn skull to the outer surface. Here it is, processus pterygoidus. It's paired structure. This is left one, this is right one, and it contains from two lamina. Lamina lateralis, processus pterygoide, and lamina medialis, processus pterygoide. Lamina lateralis and lamina medialis. And now I use this single bone lamina lateralis and lamina medialis. It's partially destroyed in this specimen, but we can distinguish lamina lateralis and lamina medialis. Lamina lateralis и lamina medialis. It's interesting that between these two lamina on the skull, we can't find any incisure. But if we use distinct bone, we can find here incisura pterygoidea. Incisura. Pterygoidea. It's a question. Why here we does not find incisura pterygoidea on the whole skull? Because inside of it are placed a special process, so named processus pyramidalis ossis palatini. Inside of it, we can find processus pyramidalis, ossis palatini. And very important structure we should demonstrate now is canalis pterygoidus. Canalis pterygoidus. From another side. Canalis pterygoidus. Canalis pterygoidus. It's quite simple to demonstrate it on the distinct bone, but practically it's impossible to demonstrate here on the skull. We can turn skull to the outer surface and demonstrate it this way. Canalis pterygoidus. Canalis pterygoidus. Чуть дальше что двинься. Okay. Canalis pterygoidus. So, summary. O sphenoidale contains 4 main parts. Corpus ossi sphenoidale with sella turcica on internal surface. Ale majores with 4 surfaces: cerebral surface, temporal surface, maxillar surface, and orbital surface. And several foramen ovale, foramen spinosum, foramen rotundum. And also there are alle minores, and there are processus pterygoidus, left and right, processus pterygoidus. Now we used this colorized skull, but it's more complicated to demonstrate it in such specimen which was not colorized and where the borders between distinct bones quite difficult to find. But your task is to distinguish all these structures, to find it, to demonstrate.